Hello and welcome to the US Climate Action Summit interview series. At the summit, we were joined by a host of senior leaders from across business and government to discuss how they're making it real, looking at the intersection between public and private sector and how this can accelerate bolder climate action. Today, I'm pleased to continue that conversation with Marissa McGowan, L'Oreal Group North America's Chief Sustainability Officer. Thank you so much for joining us, Marissa.
Thank you so much for having me, Helen, and for all the work you're doing to get us together in different forums.
Great, and it's great to see you. So let's just get straight into the conversation and our first question, which is about legislation. At Climate Group, we talk a lot about policy, about legislation. How do you see legislation like the extended producer responsibility laws influencing your organization's approach to sustainability in both the sort of long and short term?
I think everyone is aware that L'Oreal is one of the largest beauty companies, uses a lot of plastic in its packaging. So we've been on a multi-year journey to use better, fewer plastics, to use more post-consumer recycled plastics, and really to design for recyclability. So that's something that has been in the works for us. We've also long supported well-designed EPR schemes. The reason for this is we do think that sharing in the end of life responsibility of our products in such a way that creates sustainable financing streams for governments to build up the municipal recycling systems is going to be critical for us as we continue our journey towards post-consumer recycled content, as we continue our journey to end plastic pollution, and as we look to engage our consumers in different ways of consuming.
Great. And what sort of success stories or hurdles can you see within the existing EPR frameworks, and what can we do to address those challenges collectively?
So we see extended producer responsibility laws, or EPR laws, as incentivizing the good work we've already been doing. So to the extent that recycling systems receive monomaterial or designed for recyclability products, we actually believe that it gives us somewhat of a first mover advantage by voluntarily working to move in the direction of recyclability, even if those systems are not there today. That said, in terms of hurdles, how long do you have? We see hurdles in terms of understanding and implementing those laws. So one of the things we did, we were a founding partner of the Circular Action Alliance, and the idea there was really a national pro. This isn't the sexy stuff, but this is just how you intake information at state level in a consistent way so that companies aren't just spending all their time inputting data on their plastic packaging into systems. So how do we receive data into one data set or data stream? How do we have a common IT infrastructure behind the scenes? While that's a solution, it's also addressing a huge challenge as we think about EPR being state by state and coming up in other states very rapidly. So how do companies just manage the reporting cycle, the payment cycle, and the like? And we're hoping with the National Pro to do that. I could go on.
Great. Well, let's talk a bit about how you get people, to recycle. What innovative strategies have you used or have you seen, or collaborative work to get community building and participation in recycling initiatives?
So I think you know that both L'Oreal USA and our Maybelline brand have been very active in founding and then being a part of the Small Town Access Fund. So this idea, together with the recycling partnership, is really about bringing recycling access curbside, or as convenient as curbside, to communities that don't currently have recycling today. So that's not just a new system that's really working with municipalities who have shown interest in doing this. These small towns often have less than 50,000 people. And it's also an education program about what to recycle, how to recycle, when to recycle. So really trying to just expand access to recycling is one piece of the puzzle. I think in terms of innovation, this is a little controversial, but I'm just going to go there. There is a tension between not wanting to greenwash versus using our brands and platforms to actually talk about the recyclability of our products and how much recycled content is in them. We are very conservative about that because the systems don't recycle at the rate that we feel would give consumers the confidence that their goods will be recycled. but it does also shut down a bit of the conversation where our brands could really be educating and advising. So we're working through right now behind the scenes. How do we do that in a way that isn't greenwashing, that feels authentic to the brands, but also brings the consumer education that we think is going to be critical to improving recycling systems?
Great. And then finally, how can we continue to bolster that narrative on recyclability and guide regulations to gain further trust and really create that robust recycling culture?
So I think everything we do through three lenses. One is transforming ourselves. That's really what are we doing within our own business. So that's continuing to design for recyclability. That's pushing for refill and reuse models and consumer education in an appropriate way. That is eliminating or minimizing the plastics we use and making sure we're using as much post-consumer content as possible. That's our transform ourselves. The second bucket is really empowering our ecosystem. That's where we're working with our suppliers to come up with better, more innovative materials, where we're working with our governments and EPR schemes to understand and hopefully improve the recycling infrastructure. And then it's really contributing. That's our sort of third pillar. And we're doing that through a circular innovation fund. We're doing that through partnerships like the Recycling Partnership Small Town Access Fund. We really see this as multi-level. It's improving everything we do in our own production and products and what we bring to market. It's working with the ecosystem, whether that's governments, suppliers, or civil society. And then finally, it's using our contributions to both incentivize and reward circular innovation, as well as investing in things like recycling access and education.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time. It's really interesting to hear everything that you're doing on this. Really good to speak to you as always. For more insights like this, stay tuned on our channels and make sure to join us at Climate Week NYC, which is running from September the 22nd to the 29th. Thank you very much and goodbye.